Gamblers, Maulers, moments away from kicking off right next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame here in Canton, Ohio. The head coach for Pittsburgh is Ray Horton. He's on the sideline right now with Caroline Pineda.
Coach, your message to your team this week was that you still control your own destiny. How do you take that first step today?
Well, obviously it's going to be receive and either return it for a touchdown or have a nice opening drive. We talked about starting fast no matter who was out there. And then the other part of that equation is reduce our penalties. And if we can do that, continue what we did last week on red zone efficiency, the rest will handle itself.
This Houston offense is powered by its running back, Mark Thompson. How do you limit his production today?
More guys in the box than they can block. I mean, that's a simple equation, but then we got to take care of the passing part. But that schematically is very easy, but he's the best back in the league by far.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Paul?
Caroline, thank you. Ray played defensive back in the NFL for 10 years. Houston head coach Curtis Johnson coached wide receivers in the NFL for a dozen years, 11 of those coming with Sean Payton in New Orleans. They won a Super Bowl together back in 2009. This is his first time as a professional head coach. We saw Ray Horton, as he was talking to Caroline, kind of peek over his left shoulder, wondering what was happening with the coin toss. I believe he's straight, but in case he's not cold, Pittsburgh, his team did win the toss, and they will receive. And when you return the ball as well as they do, of course you want the ball right away. Last week, Josh Simmons returned a kick right there for a touchdown. He led the USFL in return yards a week ago, and as his head coach said, hopefully we take this one back to the house as well. Gamblers started the season 0-2. They won 4 straight. They lost to Memphis last weekend. They let a late lead slip away. Pittsburgh also started the season at 0-2. Pieced together winning 2 out of 3 mid-season. Now they've lost their last 2 games on the wrong end of a high-scoring shootout last weekend, losing 37-31 to Philadelphia. First of 4 games of Week 8 in the USFL underway. Josh Simmons took one to the house. See what he does from 95 here. Pitches at the 20, 25, and out to the 27. Nice job by the Houston special teams. Starting quarterback for Pittsburgh is Troy Williams. Quite a story. He's 28 years old, from Los Angeles, played college football at Washington, Santa Monica College, and also Utah. Getting his first taste as a professional starting quarterback. Leads the Maulers in rushing. Pittsburgh general manager Lonnie Young told me this week he'd like to see him be even more aggressive when he decides to run. Right now he's averaging about 8 carries per game. See if that number goes up today. Tailback next to him is Garrett Groshek. Right to Bailey Gaither, 25, turns the corner. And he finds a first down on the first play of the game for the Maulers. Kalan Tolson, middle linebacker, eventually makes the tackle. The Maulers move the chains right away.
Great play by Bailey Gaither right there. I think that is a great start to this drive. When you watch Bailey Gaither play, he just plays with so much speed. Getting him a touch on the first play of the game it's a good sign for the Pittsburgh Maulers.
Those are the starting lineups presented by Progressive. Isaiah Henney leads this team in receiving, and as I mentioned, also leads the league in punt return yards. They go right to the run game up the middle, a little bit of a crease, and a strong finish for Garrett Groshek. So a pass play that moves the chains on the first play, and then Groshek finds a little space off the left side.
You know, going back to Troy, when you watch him on tape, he just gets better and better and better each week. I know they haven't been great on offense, but his play, if you really watch the details, he's getting more and more comfortable.
Pittsburgh so far this season last in points, yards, and also passing yards per game, but 2 plays in, off to a good start. This time they move Williams. Still scanning and dumping. He gets him inside of Houston territory, down to the 47-yard line. Isaiah Henney, their top receiver, with his first catch.
I like this play, getting Troy out of the pocket, moving him off his spot early in the game. You know, we had a little bubble screen to start. Now we're motioning him outside, getting a little flat route for a first down. Moving the ball efficiently here early.
It has been a while for Troy Williams acting as the starting quarterback. You have to go back to 2016 in the Pac-12 when he was a starter for the Utah Utes. They had a nice season, went 9-4, but got beat out by Tyler Huntley the next season. And this is his first taste as a starter since. Good strong run there out to the 42-yard line. Madre London brought down by Isaiah Pryor, gain of 5.
Hey, you know, we had a chance to talk to Troy earlier in the week. You know, he talked about that, right? He hadn't started since 2016. He's just kind of on his couch working and waiting and trying to get this next opportunity. He told me to give his dad, Big Smiley, a shout out because he's stuck by his side this whole time and it's paying off.
Commitment to the ground game early has paid off. 2 runs, 14 yards. That is a good start for this offense. This time wide receiver out of the backfield, Isaiah Henney around the right side. First down Pittsburgh out near the 35-yard line. Gain of 7, and Colt, this running game that has struggled the entire season is off to a nice beginning.
I love the creativity of what Pittsburgh's doing on offense here. Moving Henney in the backfield, playing running back, getting a little zone read going, getting him through the middle. Man, he is so shifty and quick. Great little drive here to start this first quarter by Pittsburgh.
You can appreciate the creativity with the ground game. When you have a wide receiver who leads the USFL in punt return yards, why not hand it to him? First and 10, little play action. Nice pocket. Fires near the end zone, and a little too much for Bailey Gaither to bring up second 10. Gaither wants the flag, and yes, it comes in late. Late penalty marker coming in against Houston.
Good protection here by the offensive line. We're going to take a heavy play action. We've kept getting first downs. Let's take a shot to our speed guy, Bailey Gaither. He gets over on the top of him. We call this a pylon route. You're going to run inside the numbers and then set your foot and go to the back pylon. Troy makes a great throw. Little contact there at the end, and results in a 15-yard penalty for the Houston Gamblers.
Nick Grant, the defensive back for Houston, called for that penalty. So the Maulers moving it right down the field. Didn't even need a big return to do that, which they have most of the season. First down and 10 from the 21. Play action to Groshek. And a completion inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Matt Siebert, the tight end from Michigan State, with his first catch, gain of 3.
Yeah, this is another nice, easy completion dialed up for Troy Williams. We're going to call this a little slip flat route by the tight end, getting into the flat. I think Troy might have given him the ball a little late, maybe get it to him a little early. He can do something with it. But again, so efficient. I love this drive by Pittsburgh to start this game.
Now, they have had drives get inside the 20 and really struggle in the red zone. I mentioned that they're last in the USFL in points per game. You bring that up to players and coaches, and right away they go to, we have been poor inside the red zone. See if they take advantage this time. They fake the screen into the end zone, and that was just too much for Isaiah Henney, who had a couple of steps on the defense, and another late flag comes in.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's trying to fake a little alley screen right here to get the defense to suck up. The defense actually did a nice job here.
Number 22, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
But get a holding call, unfortunately. Results in a first down for Pittsburgh. I like the concept. Safe play, safe throw, good play design. Yeah, you know, when we talked to Coach Horton, he just pointed right away to the red zone struggles, like you mentioned. If they can finish drives in the red zone today, I think they have a great chance.
So Manny Bunch there, one of the top players on their defense, if not the top, hanging on there. Sets up first down and 10 from the 12. Williams over the middle, now inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Goes Joshua Simmons. Kick return touchdown last week.
Joshua Simmons inside the 10, tackled by
And that's a gain of 5. Maulers, by the way, do not have to get into the end zone here. They get just inside the 4-yard line to keep the chains moving. You've been on offenses that have kind of hit a tough spot, Colt. Of course, 13 seasons in the NFL. When you get that first drive moving, when you're coming off some struggles, it does so much for the confidence.
Absolutely.
Groshek tries the left side and down to the 6-yard line. Wanted to go right off tackle, and the Gamblers stretched him out there and kept that to a gain of 2 to bring up third down.
Third downs in the red zone is what these games come down to. It's one area that, you know, we've said it, Pittsburgh has struggled, but if they can find a way to get in the end zone, this will be the best start they could ask for today.
We mentioned their leading rusher is the quarterback, Troy Williams. We've also seen him outside the pocket a couple of times today on run-pass options. On this 9th play of the drive, we'll see if they give him that option again. From the pocket. Swings it out. Groshek one-on-one leaps to the 5. I jumped over Nick Grant. JT Tyler, the linebacker, came out to finish him off. Gain of 2. I think he'll be just a little bit short here.
1 yard short of the sticks.
Decision time.
I don't see any special teams moving on their sideline.
I like to call. They've moved the ball so well this drive. Let's call our best play down here. Let's convert. Keep this drive going.
Ray Horton, head coach who grew up on the defensive side of the ball in the NFL. As a cornerback and also as an assistant coach, going forward on 4th and less than 1. Early snap to Williams. He just goes right forward. Penalty marker came in right when he got the snap.
I think we got offsides by the defense here.
Derek Anderson will let us know.
Offside. Number 15, defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Results in a first down.
Defensive end Ron Bingham. He wears number 15. There he is. Guilty of that call, and he just gave them a first down.
Troy Williams using hard count down in here in the low red zone. Great job by the offensive line staying in, getting them to jump off sides, free first down. I got to think they punch it in here pretty quick.
Empty backfield. Simmons joins him. Fakes to Simmons. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown Maulers.
This is a great read by Troy Williams. A simple.
With a 2-yard touchdown run.
We're going to get a motion here by Simmons. He's going to come across the ball here. All Troy's going to do is read what number 22 does and what number 18 does. As he comes across, they fly out to take the run, and Troy just takes it right up the middle. Really nice play design. Good finish by Troy. And I think this may be the best drive of the year for them to start the game.
Boy, to start out going right down the field. You know what else? This is Chris Blewett on for the extra point. And that's right down the middle. Excellent mix of the run and the pass for the Maulers. Coming into this game, they scored the fewest points of any offense in the USFL. But they just took it right down the field. Troy Williams, nice job. And the finish with the 6. Ray Horton, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Maulers, on the left. I think he's happier than he looks right now because his offense just went right down the field to score cold. Exactly what you want, of course, on any kind of opening drive, but the mix and the balance was exactly perfect. 5 runs, 5 passes, ending with a Troy Williams, who's their quarterback, touchdown run.
Right. Troy has the ability to make plays with his feet. He can throw the football effectively, and that drive was, in my opinion, the best drive I've seen of them on all the tape that I've watched. They get the ball. They move Troy out of the pocket a few times. He gets his own read in there. They get a pass interference call when they take a shot off a deep play action. I just got to think if you're Pittsburgh, you're so pleased with that first drive of the game.
5s were on his side. He was also 5 out of 5. This is Isaiah Zuber. Stutter step and carrying special teams players out across the 35 to the 37. Let's go to the sideline. Check in with Caroline Pineda.
Troy is in the middle of a couple things down here, but he's taken the time to talk to me. A great opening drive for you. What worked so well to start the game?
We just got off to a great start. Got a couple good runs early. O-line getting a great push. Running backs doing a good job. Got to hit a couple guys in the flat, and it was just a good drive, good start. Got to keep going.
We heard all week how important red zone efficiency was for this team. What changed this week to allow that?
We just got to execute. We've always, been down there and we kind of hit a wall. It's just about confidence. We've been building our confidence each week and just believing in ourselves, believing in the plays. So, that's the big thing. It all starts with confidence.
Thanks, Troy. Paul?
Caroline, Troy, thank you very much. Excellent catch right there from Isaiah Zuber coming into this game. Only 1 catch. There's his first for a gain of 5. Kenji Bahar starts out 1 for 1. Good start in what has to be a bounce-back game for him. Coming off a season low in completion percentage. He was under 50% through 2 interceptions. Was sacked 4 times, had 6 balls knocked down to the line of scrimmage. He's anxious to put that behind him. He starts out 2 for 2. That's Mark Thompson, top tailback on this team, driven out of bounds as he got across the 45. Penalty marker came out just after he made the catch. Tackle made by Reuben Foster.
2 for 2 to start this drive.
Number
for
77,
Kenji.
offense.
Unfortunately,
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
you get a little holding call here on the screen. That's not what you want. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
So they do find a way, even though the play didn't count, to get it to Mark Thompson, number 3 runner in the USFL. We talked to their offensive coordinator, Eric Price, during the week. He said, okay, let's think about this. You can count on about 60 plays per game. We need to find a way to get it to number 7 about 20 times. Most of it through the ground game and a little bit in the passing game. He only had 13 carries last week, not nearly as many as they would like. Cut back there and a dive out to the 37-yard line. Eli Walker, the safety. Houston offense will aim for more balance this week, as Eric Price told us. When they do look to pass, though, Kiki Chisholm gets his first start of the year at wide receiver, filling in for the injured Anthony Ratliff-Williams. A lot of injuries on this side. I talked to the general manager, Bob Morris, in the field before the game. 40 players dressed. He said 8 of them are new compared to last week. 20% turnover 1 week to the next year. Bahar back to the air, touch pass, got his man. Inside of Pittsburgh territory is Josh Peterson. Tight end freed up, and Bahar put it right out in front of him. Big gain for Houston for a first down.
I love this combination. They're getting in at 1 by 3, meaning they put 3 receivers to the left side of the field. They put Mark and their tight end Josh Peterson on the right side, and you get your one-on-one matchup with Reuben Foster there on your tight end, and he does a great job getting on top, running a corner route. What a great throw by Kenji. That is a huge third down conversion on this first drive of the game.
Well, that's a nice job of defense by the DBs. Pittsburgh, Isaiah Zuber, his second catch of the afternoon. But Mark Gilbert, who spent time in the NFL with Pittsburgh and also with Detroit, was on him right away. Loss of 3. Talked to Maulers GM Lonnie Young during the week, and he thinks that's someone who's going back to an NFL camp. Terrific career at Duke, little cup of coffee with the Steelers and the Lions. See where he ends up at the end of the summer.
Oh,
that football ends up over the head of Kenji Bahar. Kicks it deep inside of Pittsburgh territory and dives on it on the 39. Disaster for the Houston offense.
That is exactly right. That's a disaster. Good job by Kenji just landing on the ball. But
it's a loss
man,
of 35.
I don't know if Kenji wasn't ready for the ball or if the center snapped it early or if it's just snapped over his head. Yeah, just snapped over his head.
Center is Nick Buchanan.
I always tell the centers, I can handle it if it's low. If it's hard and fast over my head, like, we got no chance.
All right, Cole, 14 seasons in the NFL. I think you're the guy here. What's your call on 3rd down and 46?
I don't know if there's a call in the play sheet for this situation,
Number
but
11, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
let's make it 3rd and 50.
Okay, how about 3rd and 51?
Probably a draw.
Screen.
Screen.
Now, is that a quarterback draw that you're looking for?
It's free yards. I mean, what do you have to lose right here?
Pad the stats. They'd probably give you 30.
Yeah.
With that big
mean,
pass.
that's just got to be so frustrating for Eric Price as a coordinator. You dialed up a great 3rd down play, you get in the red zone, and that's just something that can't happen.
See what they can get back here, complete to the 40. And not much further. That's Justin Hall with his first reception of the day. Gain of 6, but that's 45 yards short. Just wanted to say that, Cole, because I don't know if I'll ever get to say that again.
You know what? One of the best stats I look at each week is explosive
18,
plays. You
44,
lead
86, and 30.
the game in explosive plays on offense, you usually win. We don't talk about that many negative plays, but plays like that will get you beat.
They had negative plays last week. 2 interceptions, 4 sacks, but that was a different type of negative. And there's movement up front. 3 flags come out.
Yeah, this is on the long snapper
Illegal
here.
snap.
He moved the
57,
ball.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Ross Ryder taking it 5 yards further back.
Ball just moves a little bit here on Ross Ryder. I don't know if he wasn't ready or if the guy behind him might have gave a different protection call or something. Let's play 4th and 55. How about that?
Well, they just want to forget about that series. Isaiah Henney inside his 10. The catch on the 6. Oh, good tackle there, preventing him to get out to the 10. Ball did come out on the 11-yard line. They uncover the players. And we await the call, and Pittsburgh hangs on to the football.
Really nice play by Tyler Palka here. He's one-on-one with the best punt returner in the USFL, and he makes an unbelievable tackle in space and may have caused Isaiah Henney to fumble it. I'm not sure. Ground might have caused this fumble.
He might have been down. Either way, a 55-yard punt. Tyler Palko, as you pointed out, Cole, terrific job because Henney had some space. Look at that left side.
Yeah, if he doesn't make that tackle, you have a dangerous punt returner with a lot of space out on the edge.
Very dangerous. Number 1 punt returner in the USFL.
Is that the return was fumbled and recovered by Pittsburgh. It'll be 1st down Pittsburgh. Time out on the field.
So they did count that as a fumble, so a good hustle by the Maulers to pounce on it. First time Pittsburgh had the football, they went down the field and scored their 2nd possession when we come back. One of Houston's top wideouts, Anthony Ratliff-Williams, was injured last week. I asked their GM, Bob Morris, in the field before the game, who's going to take his place? He said, keep your eye on number 16, Tyler Palka. He'll play a little bit at wide receiver, and he might have every special teams tackle. That's him making the last tackle in the open field on the number 1 punt returner in the USFL. Fumble was recovered by the Maulers, but this is a man who wasn't even on the roster a week ago, Colton. Makes a big play on special teams.
That's what I love about the USFL. You know, you can only dress 40 guys, so everybody that's dressed has to play a role in special teams.
We've seen this a couple of times here, Colt. That's the play action one way. Williams rolling out to his right. Matt Seibert, the tight end, with his 2nd catch, only for 1 yard.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is doing a really good job of just manufacturing some completions for Troy here early. Flat routes, moving the pocket a little bit, getting him comfortable, getting his feet comfortable, and he's seeing it really well.
Sometimes that's the best thing a coordinator can do is what you said, manufacture those completions for an offense that has been struggling. He hasn't missed. Perfect 6 out of 6. They try it up the middle, almost get out to the 15-yard line. And it'll put Troy Williams in a spot. He wasn't in too much on that first scoring drive, and that's 3rd down and long after a gain of 1.
3rd and long here. Look for a matchup with Isaiah Henney in the slot. Maybe Bailey Gaither as your speed guy. You know, I like
Houston certainly expecting pass. They run out 5 defenders, bring in 5 new. They're playing with 6 defensive backs right now. Williams, though, finds a hole and picks up a 1st down. C.J. Turner out to the 44-yard line. 3rd and 7, not an issue for Troy Williams. Picks up 29 yards.
Looks like Houston's going to play some version of a 2-deep zone here, and this is a great job finding the seam, finding the little soft spot in zone coverage. Troy Williams puts his back foot in the ground and delivers a strike. And a huge play backed up in your own territory to get the ball out close to midfield. Another good drive coming by Pittsburgh.
1st down 10. Garrett Groshek, hole up the middle. Falls forward out to the 49-yard line. Nice gain on 1st down by the ground game. And I thought you summed it up really well. Troy Williams' first 6 completions. Colt, you said they've been manufacturing completions. That 3rd down and 7 wasn't manufactured. That was just him being the professional quarterback.
Absolutely, but I think manufacturing those completions early for him to get him comfortable. Now he's backed up around his 15-yard line, 3rd and long. Like, that's a big-time throw right there, throwing a seam in zone coverage, getting the ball out to midfield. He's feeling it now.
Running game has put him in some nice spots so far, like this 2nd down and 4. Dodging trouble. Eyes downfield. Another completion. This time to Isaiah Henne. Cuts it back. Has a lane to the outside. Henne still on his feet and out of bounds before he got to the 20-yard line.
I tell you what, when we talked to defensive coordinator Chris Wilson, he said Isaiah Henne was as quick as a hiccup. And you see that right now. Again, Troy getting out of the pocket, creating, finding Isaiah Henne, and then Henne does the rest for a first down. What an explosive play.
Good job of keeping his feet there at the end for a few extra yards. And Pittsburgh might be a little unhappy to see this first quarter come to a close. First time they had the football, went right down the field and scored. And they are on the move again. Isaiah Henne sets him up well. We head to the second quarter in Canton with the Maulers up by 7. The USFL on USA is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Always fun to come to Canton, the Hall of Fame right next door. There's the highlight, the room where all the Buffs live. Where John Madden said when the lights go out, they talk and tell stories at night. Troy Williams' story in the first quarter is that it might have been his best quarter of his season. Look at his average passing per game, and then look what he did in that first quarter.
Yeah, you know, we had a chance to talk to Troy a couple days ago. We asked him, what are some things that you want to improve on? And he said he and his coaches talked about just being a creator.
Bailey Gaither creates out to the left side. He had nothing but green grass there. Picks up another first down. The creativity in the mix from offensive coordinator John Tomlinson, who calls the plays for Pittsburgh, has been excellent so far.
He's done a really nice job. And Troy has just taken over this game. You know, that last big play to Henne, he moves out of the pocket. He doesn't make a bad play worse. Finds Isaiah Henne and turns into a punt return, essentially.
First 6 completions got him less than 30 yards, but his last 2 have gone for 29 and 26. Big play strikes leading the way on this drive. In motion, Josh Simmons cannot find the corner and can't cut it back. Nick Grant, well done. Had a hold and wouldn't let go.
Nice play by Houston's defense here, right? Pittsburgh scored a touchdown on this down in the low red last drive. They try to go back to it here, and Houston is ready for it.
First downs so far are 11-1 in favor of Pittsburgh, but that's a loss of 4. Thanks to Nick Grant. Second down 14, it is second down goal. Empty backfield for Williams. Quickly, in and out of the hands. Good throw, but Mondre London, the running back, couldn't come up with it. And Williams has his first incompletion.
It's always tricky throwing quick game to running back sometimes. Good throw. In and out of the hands. That's all right. Now we got a third and goal situation, pretty backed up. I think the thought process here for Troy and for offensive coordinator John Tomlinson is just, hey, we have points here. Protect the points. Take the touchdown if it's there, but protect the points.
There you go. Right on with that mindset. Williams steps up. There he is creating 10-5 and a slide down to the 3. So as Colt mentioned, you do have the points. You have the short field goal, but you're this close. Okay, they've made the call already. Special teams unit coming right out. Good run, good decision, and we'll see if it leads to 3 points.
Yes, good decision by Troy here. Nothing's open. I don't want to risk throwing a ball in zone coverage, getting the ball tipped. Let me run up and give me 10 extra yards from my kicker. Really nice play by Troy.
Chris Blewett. Right hash, 22 yards out. I love the call with conviction. They were not hesitating on the Pittsburgh sideline. They knew a field goal attempt was coming if they didn't put it in the end zone, and that is nearly automatic. Pittsburgh has had the ball twice, 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. Early in the second, Maulers up 10. Looking to the diamond, the Pirates get a visit from the Cardinals on Sunday morning. Stream live from PNC Park tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern on Peacock, where there will be 703 home runs in the announce booth as Albert Pujols will make his broadcasting debut. That'll be fun. So they have 703 home runs. That's what Albert has done. I've got 13-plus seasons to my right in the NFL. Good quality professional experience this weekend.
That's right.
You a baseball guy?
I do like baseball. Diamondbacks are playing well right now.
Go to games down there?
I do.
Nice outing. I think I covered Albert Pujols in single-A baseball way back in the early 2000s. I got to double check that, but
what a great career he's had. What a great person he seems like. I've never met him, but
just kept playing and kept playing well.
I'm sure he'll be awesome in the booth.
Isaiah Zuber hasn't been touched. Got well across the 40-yard line, and a late flag comes in. We'll see if he got hit late. A return to 39, and Derek Anderson will let us know about the penalty marker.
Looks like we might get a little
foul. Number 81, receiving team. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. Hey, Kyle.
And we go to the sideline where Caroline has more on the Pittsburgh defense.
Paul, you were just talking about all that professional experience. Mark Gilbert has a lot of that in his family. His uncle is former NFL Pro Bowler Sean Gilbert. His cousin is Darrelle Revis, the longtime Jets cornerback who will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in August. When Gilbert was in high school, he would send clips to Revis for feedback on his technique. Gilbert told me he feels so fortunate to have someone like Revis to learn from, and he plans to be back here in Canton later this summer to see his cousin's induction.
Caroline, thank you. And that is the best pass I've seen this season from Kenji Bahar to Justin Hall. He drove that one to the sidelines right on the money, Colt, for 19 yards.
Yeah, I love this call. Heavy play action on first down. You motion your best receiver across the ball so Kenji knows what the look is. It's going to be zone coverage. And Kenji just does a nice job putting his back foot in the ground and delivering a strike on a little deep out route to Justin Hall.
He just came out of the game. That ball traveled 25 yards in the air on the line. Mark Thompson only one carry for 5 yards in that first quarter. Bryce Torneden, safety, hits him low, gain of 4. And I anticipate we'll see a lot more of him coming up. That's Mark Thompson. And Montel Cozart, backup quarterback, is in. You might recognize him from the days he played at Boise State. Played in the Canadian Football League as a wide receiver. We'll expect to get him out of the pocket. Dumps it off on the move to Clint Sig. And he stopped 4 yards short of a first down, gain of 2.
Man, I love Clint Sig. He just slips here in the flat. Give him a nice ball in the flat. But Reuben Foster, I tell you what, he flies around. I'm so happy to see him out here, man. He's dealt with so many injuries in his career. Such a great person. The smile he had on his face when we talked to him yesterday just tells it all. He's so thankful to be back on the football field.
No injury to Kenji Bahar. They just want to get Cozart a little time. This time Bahar moves out to his right. All kinds of time. Fires low and incomplete. At the 35-yard line, Tyler Palka. Diving effort to bring up 4th down 3. So this Pittsburgh defense, which has been the best part of the team this entire season, has spent a lot of this year, the majority of it, with the #1 scoring defense in the league. They still have the #1 total defense, which means they've given up the fewest yards.
They're just stingy, right? You get a big play on first down by Houston, and then all of a sudden they force them to 3 plays and out, and now Houston has to punt. They don't give up too many big plays.
Well, that was really well done to be down inside the 5-yard line. Punt to 38 yards and no return. Pittsburgh has 2 scoring drives, but this 100 yards away from where Ray Horton is standing right now. 34 seasons in the NFL as a player and as an assistant coach. His connections to the Hall of Fame are truly remarkable. Let's go back to the beginning. Drafted by the Bengals, 1983 round 2, owned by Paul Brown. His first head coach, Forrest Gregg. Teammate in the defensive backfield, Ken Riley. He's in the class of 2023. Goes to Dallas 6 years later. Jimmy Johnson, the head coach. First job as an assistant, Darrell Green was one of his corners. Spent 7 seasons under Bill Cowher in Pittsburgh. His star student, Troy Polamalu. His D coordinator was Dick LeBeau, and he raved about Dick LeBeau, not so much as a coach, but as a person and how he interacted with people. Said he made everyone feel like the most important person in the room, and he's tried to carry that with him every step of the way. Backed up is Pittsburgh, and they run it right up the middle for close to a yard.
Coach Ray Horton he's unbelievable. I've had the pleasure of being around him when I was in Washington. He was there with me for a couple years. He's just an unbelievable coach, but an even better person. These players are so lucky to have him as a coach. He's a leader of men. He's been a part of so many games and seasons, both as a coach and a player. He's full of stories and knowledge. I just can't say enough good things about Coach Horton.
His expertise is on the defensive side of the football. Takes a look at his offense here. Troy Williams backs up into his own end zone. Over the middle, tries to get a little bit of breathing room. Mason Stockey is tied into the 10-yard line. You said in Washington you used to try and settle up next to him at lunchtime to get a part of some of those stories.
Right. We all would go down to the cafe in Washington, and if he was sitting at a table, a lot of players just kind of found their way at his he's such a great storyteller. Telling stories about Troy Polamalu and all the guys he's coached and played with. He's seen it all.
See if he can see his offense move the sticks here. 3rd down and 4. Troy Williams, 9 out of 10. Now 10 out of 11. On the move, on the money to Isaiah Henney out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 15.
And that's just such a good play by Troy Williams. Again, they're moving him out of the pocket. It's 3rd and 4. His first read is number 44 right here. He's going to come out to the flat, and then we're going to get a little corner route right here. And all you're doing is you're high-lowing Lake, number 25. Makes a nice ball. The first read's taken away. Throws it on the sidelines for a big first down. And again, Troy he's feeling it. The play before, they got a little quick game, and they man up the Omaha route, and he just resets his feet, finds the guy over the ball. He's doing a lot of good things today.
Off the right side for 2 yards. I want to take a look at this play one more time. You said high-low the safety. What exactly do you mean?
Yeah, you think you're going to get you're reading 25, right? Here's your read. As the play starts, you're going to get a little flat route by 44. If it's taken away, I want to reset and throw this 7 route. And as this play gets going, 25 jumps the flat. You get a little corner route and a big first down.
Love that 7 route. That corner route over the top looks good a lot of the time. Under route, not bad either. Mason Stockey moving from right to left, and just enough for another first down. Troy Williams is 11 out of 12. That most recent completion for 10 yards.
And he's just doing a good job of taking what the defense gives him. These are all the same plays they've been running all year, but he's just comfortable. He's confident. He's throwing strikes.
I go back to what you said in that first drive when he had 6 completions only for 28 yards. You said they're manufacturing those completions to get him in that comfortable, confident zone, and he's been playing there ever since.
Yeah, he's in a good place right now.
Madre London wrapped up in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Tim Bonner had the big fumble recovery late in the game last week at Memphis. In the backfield that time. Loss of 1. Chris Wilson, defensive coordinator for Houston.
When we talked to Chris Wilson this week, he said the #1 priority is stop the run. Pittsburgh's did a great job in the pass game, but haven't found all the yards they need in the run game.
Chris Wilson was the D-line coach for the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl after the 2017 season. Watch out for the backside, and he makes a miss. Troy Williams having a day, throwing it and running it out to the 49-yard line. J.T. Tyler, the outside linebacker, almost had him, but Williams picks up 10.
The elusiveness of Troy Williams is on display. Watch this. He steps up. Nice job. Protects the football. Seems like he's got eyes in the back of his head. Runs away from the defender and gets a nice first down.
Seeing why J.T. Tyler was one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12 back in 2016 when he led the Utes to a 9-4 record. This is his first extensive time as a starter since then. Surveys, dumps over the middle down to the 46-yard line. I think That was his third option. Checked it down to Groshek for 3 yards.
You know, as a quarterback, middle of the second quarter, you're getting to your third read over the ball. It's your running back. Kind of a good offset throw here. He's trying to throw a slant into the boundary. That's taken away by the defense. Good eyes to set the defense and resets over the ball to his running back. Just efficient play by the quarterback.
Good job of Groshek being right where he was supposed to be too. This drive has already taken up 5 minutes. Quick hitter to the right side. Out near the 40-yard line is Matt Seibert. Strong finish. Should be enough for another Pittsburgh first down. Jeremiah Johnson with the stop. Gain of 6, and yes, the chains do move.
You know, when you watch this Pittsburgh team, I know they've struggled a little bit on offense, but they have 2 very solid tight ends. Mason Stockey, Matt Seibert. These guys played at powerhouses, right? Mason played at Wisconsin. Matt played at Michigan State. They've both got a couple catches this game and playing well early.
Isaiah Henne, wide receiver in the backfield. Jet sweep, cuts it up the middle. Big hit as he got to the 40-yard line. Kalan Tolson, middle linebacker, was happy to see 5'7", 170 receiver Isaiah Henne in the hole. Gain of 2.
Really nice job right here by the Mike linebacker. Coming downhill, makes a quick read, and a great one-on-one tackle with Henne right in the middle of the hashes.
Textbook. 2nd down 7. Williams with a touchdown run already. Comes out to his right side, avoiding pressure.
Throw it away.
But not for long. I'm with you. Gets to the 43, but probably should have let that one go a second earlier. Loss of 4 yards.
Yeah, I think probably want to throw this ball away. His first read's taken away. He kind of resets. Memphis is in the perfect coverage for this play. You know, just understanding field position, right? You don't want to lose any yards here. You want to keep a field goal in your back pocket. Maybe he's protecting that completion percentage he's got going on right now.
It's awfully good. 13 out of 14. He did save it. Stayed above 90%. You're thinking field goal a little bit here, too. 3rd and 12. They call a timeout.
Timeout, Pittsburgh. This is their first of the half.
We'll take a break as well. 2:54 until halftime at Canton. Maulers trying to add to a 10-0 lead. Racing on the streets of Detroit returns to the IndyCar circuit. The world's fastest drivers roll into the Motor City tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern on NBC and also on Peacock. Last weekend, Joseph Newgarden earned his first Indy 500 win with a wild finish, passing Marcus Ericsson on the final lap of the race. Huge, huge victory and a great celebration for which he had to leave the track. Always fun to get a peek at the Indy 500, thinking about speed. Isaiah Henne on the sideline. Big 3rd down here coming up for Pittsburgh. Up 10, 3rd and 12, ball to 43. See if they can get closer to a possible field goal attempt. There it is. Closer by the step is Matt Seibert. And he gets down to the 31-yard line, about a half a yard short of the first down. Tolson, the middle linebacker, made the stop. See what they do. They're a yard short. Would be a 48-yard field goal. Blewett has a long of 50 this season. Remember, he also hit one from 58 last week that got called back for a delay of game. So they're in good hands there. But the offense stays on the field.
I don't think Ray Horton hesitated for a second. He said, nope, it's a hat. We're 1 yard short. Let's go for it. We've been doing what we've wanted to do all day. Let's stay on the field.
Williams in the shotgun. London behind him. Trying to get the 5 yards as a gift, and they may have gotten it.
Start 67. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Goes against the offense. John Dietz in the guard.
Yeah, this is just unfortunate, right? You call this no snap, no play. It's like, lineman, shut your eyes. Don't move. Nobody jump. We're not going to run a play. We're going to try to get a free 5, and if we don't, we'll call timeout and kick a field goal. And now Chris Blewett comes on the field.
So Blewett from the left hash. This is from 54 yards out. Again, his long this season is 50. He did hit a 58-yarder last week. Didn't count because of delay of game. And we've got a timeout called by Houston.
Gosh, that hurts you.
Houston, this is the first of the half. 30 seconds in length.
That's one of those where it's just like, come on, guys, we can't make a mistake like that. We're not going to snap the ball. Nobody jump, nobody move. If the defense jumps offside, reach out and touch them. Let's get a free 5 and a first down. I love the play call.
Let's go.
The execution just was a little short.
Where penalties have been a major issue for Pittsburgh, especially these last 3 weeks. Look at that, 9 a game. Certainly has the attention of Ray Horton. We talked to him during the week. It was on his mind. I think it was also on his mind earlier today in a conversation with the officials. And they just got backed up 5 yards. So this is field goal attempt. Chris Blewett from 54 yards out. Right down the middle, and plenty of leg as well. Chris Blewett has 2 field goals on the day. The second was definitely the more difficult from 54 yards out, and it was never in doubt. Ended a 13-play drive inside of 2 minutes till halftime. The Maulers lead by 13. Just inside of 2 minutes till halftime here in Canton. And coming up on the Arby's halftime show, we'll hear from both of the head coaches. Pittsburgh's offense has given us plenty of options to pick out the play of the half. And we'll also look ahead to what else is coming up here in the USFL on week number 8. This is game number 1, another one coming up tonight, and a pair tomorrow. Hey, Troy Williams, have yourself an afternoon. He is 14 out of 15. Scored the only touchdown of the day that we've seen, and has just been all about efficiency from the start until now. Big time offensive possession coming up for Houston. Looking at the possibility of getting shut out. Down 13. They do have 2 timeouts left. Isaiah Zuber from his own 9. Cuts it back and makes it out to the 26-yard line. We go downstairs and check in with Caroline.
Paul, this week I caught up with one of Boogie Roberts and Troy Williams' coaches from Narbonne High School in California. Brandon Manu Maliuna told me it's a coach's dream to see your players continue getting opportunities, especially when they're on the same team. Now he coaches Roberts' younger brother. Manu Maliuna told me, I let Boogie come watch a practice, and when I looked over, he was coaching the D-line. Roberts went on to spend the whole season as a volunteer coach.
Caroline, thank you. And Boogie, I remember from our time last year, Colt, one of the best personalities in this league, in addition to a high-quality defensive lineman.
Yeah, you nailed it. He's such a disruptor up front. We haven't called his name much today, but when you break down their games, goodness, he causes problems for offensive lines.
Mark Thompson tried it up the middle and went out to the left side, and we expected to see him with a lot of carries. Eric Price, offensive coordinator, told us during the week needs to touch it at least 20 times in the ground game and the passing game. That was just his 3rd rush, but he does get 7 yards. Houston does have 2 timeouts remaining, trailing by 13. Clock stopped with 1:47.
Houston can put a drive together right here. Bahar,
nice catch.
Changed this whole game. Great throw by Kenji. There's your 7 route again.
Sometimes you need a good catch by a receiver, right, Colt? Isaiah Zuber comes up with it there.
Exactly. Good throw by Kenji. Nice catch. They got a little drive going here. 2 timeouts left. They're in good shape.
Just inside of their own territory, back to the air. Good pocket and just a miss to Mark Thompson. Clock stops 1:33 left. Bahar hasn't had many misses, Colt. He's now 6 out of 8.
Yeah, he's playing good. You think about what Houston's done on offense. They've had a couple explosive plays. You know, then they get the snap over their head. It was super unfortunate. They lost like 35 yards. And then they get the ball in positive territory and go 3 and out and have to punt.
There's Eric Price, offensive coordinator for Houston, and they praise Kenji Bahar for his intelligence and going to the right place, getting them in the right place, but his accuracy can let him down, like we just saw there. On the money that time, and a little bit of room to go for Isaiah Zuber. Hit him in stride on the crossing route. 2nd and 10. They got a lot back. Middle linebacker Dale Warren with the stop. Gains 9.
Man, I think you'd like to see Zuber get the first down right there. I know he wants to get out of bounds to stop the clock. We're in a 2-minute situation. But now we got a 3rd and short here for Houston.
You also have 6'2", 235-pound running back next to you, but they go back to the air. Floating to the right, now keeping it himself. First down and then some. Slides out to the 33-yard line. Good speed and a good decision. The chains move. Gains 10.
Really nice job in pocket movement right here by Kenji. His first read you're going to see is to the boundary side of the field. Nope, I don't have it. Let me step up. I might have a chance at Mark over the ball, but let me run and get the first down with my feet, move the chains. Important 3rd down play, and now he's got him in score territory.
Pumps once and twice, rolling left, and he'll just live to see another play there. Isaiah Zuber was nearest. Inside the minute now, 58 seconds left. Still 2 timeouts left for the Gamblers.
You know, it's nice to see Kenji moving around a little bit. I felt like last week when we watched this game, his ankle was still bothering him. He's kind of limping around a couple times. But today he looks fresh. He looks like he's moving well, and he's throwing the ball effectively.
His offensive coordinator, when we talked to him during the week, Colt, he mentioned that he expected him to be moving better this week. Colt mentioned that ankle injury to the right side 2 weeks ago. He missed a start. Wasn't his best last week and is feeling a lot better now. Tight formation. Comfortable in the pocket. Can run again if he'd like to across the 30 and steps out of bounds at the 27. Picks up 5 yards. Eli Walker, the safety, ran him out of bounds.
Again, good play by Kenji, moving around. Doesn't really have anyone open. You don't want to take just a 2 or 3 yard completion. And he just does it with his feet. You know, one thing I point back to of this Houston Gamblers football team is when Kenji doesn't turn the ball over, they're undefeated. Right, I know they're down 13 right now, but he's taking care of the football. He's moving around better. A score right here would be huge for them.
4-man rush. Throws underneath to the 22-yard line. And he's going to be about a half a yard short. That's Isaiah Zuber, who's been his top receiver.
Houston. Their 2nd of the half.
Decision time here for Houston. 4th and 1. You got a field goal in your pocket. Be interesting to see what they do coming out of this timeout.
45 seconds till the halftime break. Houston trying to get on the board for the first time. On the right is Houston offensive coordinator Eric Price. His team is facing 4th down and 1, trailing 13-0. On the Maulers' 23-yard line, they have decided to go for it. Kenji Bahar under center, Mark Tempson behind him, and whistles before they could get off the snap. Timeout called by Pittsburgh.
I like the timeout by Ray Horton here. If you have extra timeouts in your pocket, we call this a Kodak situation. Like, let's see what Houston lines up in, what formation they get in, what play we think they're going to run, and then let's call timeouts before they snap the ball so we can get our defense set and ready. Maybe change the coverage, maybe change the call. Little game of cat and mouse here.
You also have the offense on the other side, knowing that they're taking stock of what you just lined up in, and they might change the formation and play too.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Would you have a situation here where you have 2 plays called and you can call 2 in the huddle or 2 on the sideline, and you can take a peek and just have some kind of system where you run the best one?
I think so, especially if you're Houston, right? You have the best running back in the game, Mark Thompson. If you get the right look, let's get him the ball. If you don't have that look, let's check to a play.
There it is, Colt. You called it. First down and then some. Sprinting to the end zone. Right call and an excellent run. 23 yards out, and the Gamblers are on the board.
There's number 7. We finally called his name today. What a huge play. 4th and 1 into the first half. Let's get double teams up front by the offensive lines, and let's let Mark find the crease. I think that he is definitely at his best when he gets double teams in front of him. He gets a defined run. He gets his shoulder pads running downhill, and good luck stopping him when he gets his momentum moving forward like that. What a great run, what a great finish, and a huge, huge play for the Houston Gamblers.
USFL best 12 touchdowns now and saving his best runs for critical downs. Extra point is pushed to the right, so the score remains 13-6. Last week, he had a big touchdown on 3rd down and 11. This time it comes on 4th and 1. He's only touched the ball 4 times today, but his 4th is a beauty and gets Houston on the board. Chris Johnson on the left is the head coach of the Houston Gamblers. They just faced 4th down and 1 on the 23-yard line. They chose to go. They gave it to Mark Thompson. 23 yards later, they had their first score.
I mean, I just love the call by Curtis Johnson. You have the best player in the USFL. It's 4th and 1. Our offense hadn't really done much today. Let's go for it. Let's turn the momentum. And that's exactly what happened. And then on the flip side, if you're Coach Ray Horton and the Pittsburgh Maulers, you look at last week, the reason they got beat is big plays. Right? This is a huge situation in this game. We got them 4th and 1. We've shut them out this first half. We get to stop here. We feel great going into halftime, and now we've got a football game here. 39 seconds left in the first half. Pittsburgh has 1 timeout.
I was just looking at those numbers we saw, Colt. Troy Williams, 14 out of 15. They have a timeout, but we all just heard Ray Horton, the head coach of Pittsburgh, say, take a knee, take a knee. So Chris Wilson, defensive coordinator right there for Houston. He'll watch Troy Williams take that knee in the final seconds, tick off the clock. The Gamblers will get the ball to start the second half. So there's the knee.
Man, if I'm Troy Williams, I'm going to come back and put my arm around Coach Horton and say, Coach, I got this. I want this drive. I got enough time and a timeout.
Colt is acting that out, putting his arm around our spotter extraordinaire, Tyler Freed, in the booth here. Sometimes you got to be on the other side of the conservative call, though, so he'll take that 14 out of 15 mark for a $135. Mark Thompson just got to the end zone. We see him doing that a lot. 12 touchdowns, easily leads the USFL. And wow, how did his team need that late in this first half, so Curtis Johnson doesn't go to the halftime locker room shut out. They did miss the extra point. Kenji, it's halftime. You can go meet with your teammates. Houston will get the ball to start the second half. We're back right after this.
For first half highlights, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Ready or not, here we come.
Let's go now, let's go.
Get louder, whole city riled up, jumping out the gates head first like a wild bird.
Let's get it.
The energy around us.
Oh, yes, sir.
We made it from the ground up. We are built for this.
Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Pretty good first half here in Canton that has Pittsburgh on top of Houston by 7. The quarterbacks only have 4 incompletions between them. We go to the field for Caroline Pineda.
Coach, a touchdown by Mark Thompson at the end of the first half. How do you capitalize on that momentum?
You know, we get the ball back in the second half. You know, I think we could run our offense. It was a couple 3 and outs, a couple big mistakes we made, and that's the difference in the game.
What defensive adjustments do you make here?
You know, again, I think it starts with stopping and running. If we can stop the run, I think we have a good chance of winning this game.
Thanks, Coach. Paul?
Caroline and Curtis, thank you very much. Kenji Bahar was solid in that last drive just before the break, Colt. They had 0 points before they got the ball, and it was a very good first half for him. We talked about it at the top, Colt, how he needed a bounce-back game. Last weekend, he was under 50%, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks. Today, he is 8 out of 11.
He's playing really well. I think he feels healthy. He's moving out of the pocket. He's finding completions. He put a big drive together to get them down in scoring range. And then I love the aggressiveness by Curtis Johnson to go for it on 4th down. Put the ball in your playmaker's hands, Mark Thompson, and let him do the rest. And that one call changed this whole game.
The quarterbacks knew you were in the booth today, Colt. You know, I know how. 93.3% completion percentage between the two. USFL record for a half.
That's what I'm talking about, quarterbacks. Way to play.
Isaiah Zuber from his own 14. Okay, tries the left side. And a little bit of room out there to the 37-yard line. So Kenji Bahar coming into this game after the worst outing of his season in a loss last weekend to Memphis. And he has been solid really from start to finish. I mentioned 8 out of 11.
That was a big third down conversion early in this game. Unfortunately, he got called back after they snapped the ball over this quarterback's head. But Kenji's just putting his back foot in the ground and throwing darts. He's seeing the defense. Receivers are making some nice plays for him. If they can get a drive coming out this second half after what they did at the end of the first half, they'll be in a great position.
If you watched the game last week in Memphis, and Colt and I were there, he had 6 balls batted down. That hasn't happened yet today. Goes up top right away, and that's way too far. Out of bounds, he sailed that one to Tyler Polka to bring up second down 10.
I don't mind it. He sees a matchup that he likes on a go ball, starting the second half, takes a shot. Maybe it'll soften up the coverage here as we get going. Just missed it a bit outside.
And of course you want the completion, but sometimes it's the mindset of a pitcher against a hitter early in the count. Throw him a pitch that is going to make him think about it the rest of that at-bat. Exactly. Take a shot early, that might be on their mind later. Mark Thompson, touchdown run the last time he touched it. That time he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Reuben Foster, middle linebacker, former first-round pick of the Niners, there with the stop.
I mean, Reuben dissects this play right from the beginning. He sees the zone movement by the offensive line, knows his gaps. He's ready for the cutback by Mark Thompson. Doesn't happen. Gets back in position and plays off his guy, Boogie Roberts, to make a great second down stop.
Third down long situation now right off the bat here in this third quarter. Third down and 10 for Bahar. Maulers bring 4. They get to him. Buys a little bit of time, but just has to throw that one away. And that's a win for the Maulers defensive line.
Now, we talked about Boogie being a disruptor. Just look at this. Look at this pass rush. He knows it's 3rd and 10. He knows it's going to be a pass. I've got a one-on-one matchup. Let me go win here. And he does a great job. I mean, the term I keep using for him is disruptor. There's nothing you can do as a quarterback when he's in your face like that.
You hear the term winning one-on-one matchups in football, Colt, and you normally think about receivers or running backs outside. Sometimes those interior defensive linemen got to win with the one-on-one, and that's what Boogie did there. Isaiah Henney standing on his own 10-yard line.
He's got room.
From his 7. Room closed up in a hurry as he gets out to the 13-yard line. Andrew Sorrell, free safety, makes the stop. Hall of Fame is literally just beyond this stadium. If you get a chance in Canton, it is fantastic if you love football. A lot of USFL second half left after this. Pittsburgh defense just did what it does. That's producing a 3-and-out, and this has been the strength of the team. It's the reason why, with the offense struggling a lot of weekends, they're still in the playoff hunt. #1 total defense, #1 rush defense, and right now getting a little rest. See if their offense can put more points on the board. Troy Williams, first drive of the second half, comes underneath. Nice catch, Bailey Gaither. And reaches out just across the 20-yard line. JT Tyler, inside linebacker, was right on him. Gain of 7.
I really like the ball placement here by Troy Williams. You're going to get a little shallow cross by Bailey Gaither coming across the middle. Troy sees the defender breaking down in front of him and kind of puts the ball behind him. Bailey makes a great catch. And another good play for an efficient first down.
He was looking to the left sideline first, came back and found Gaither. Gaither jogged off the field afterward. You'll watch here the Houston defense crash in on that left side. Garrett Groshek had nowhere to go. Loss of 3 yards. Defensive end Ronheem Bingham was the first one there. And just like that, it's 3rd and long with 3rd and 7 coming up.
3rd and 7 backed up. You had a 3-and-out by the Houston offense. Pittsburgh's trying to avoid that right now. And I think Bailey's still off the field, so we got his 2 tight ends, Mason Stockey, Matt Siebert, both on the field.
Williams 15 out of 16. In trouble though, sacked. And a late flag comes into the 30-yard line. Ronheem Bingham makes a play again. But a penalty marker came down in the secondary, and Derek Anderson will let us know why.
Illegal contact, number 44, defense. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Oh my goodness, that's a killer for the Houston Gamblers defense.
It's Tolson, their top tackler.
Playing a little bit of man coverage here. It's just illegal contact down the field. You know, you got about 5 yards to do that before the flag comes out.
Those two may have seen each other in the Big Ten. Tolson, Illinois, Stockey, Wisconsin. And it's first down for Williams. Has it batted down as he tried to get it back across the middle. Only the second incompletion of the day so far for Williams.
Nice job by Pryor here, getting his hands up. You know, it's always tricky as a quarterback when you're rolling out of the pocket and you kind of try to throw it back across your body. I know that was his first read, but you've got hands, you've got D linemen, you've got offense. Everybody's in front of you, kind of throwing through windows. Pryor does a nice job tipping that ball, and he's lucky that it doesn't result in an interception.
Quickly out of his hands. Gaither tried to turn that corner, but he was brought down low at the 25-yard line. Jeremiah Johnson, form tackle to keep that to a gain of 3.
Nice tackle by Jeremiah Johnson here. He's in great position. He's the only one that can make this play, right? If he misses this tackle, it could turn into a huge play. That's textbook right there by Jeremiah Johnson.
Gaither now 2 catches on this drive alone, and once again, it's 3rd down and 7. Last time Pittsburgh converted moments ago was only because of a Houston penalty.
Looks like we're getting man coverage here. Some version of a pressure.
They rush 5, off his back foot, drilled as he let it go. And a penalty marker comes in again on the sideline. It was Jeremiah Johnson against Joshua Simmons.
If you go back to the start of this play, it's a great job by Troy Williams recognizing, hey, I've got a pressure look here, and I've got man coverage on the outside. Let me signal a little go ball to my X receiver, my speed guy, and let me just get this ball out of my hands as quick as I can. And they get the pass interference call and an automatic first down.
This is a sideline warning for Houston.
Yep, there's the holding. Jeremiah Johnson just grabs his shoulder pads a little bit. Anytime the ref sees that jersey coming off the shoulder pads, he's going to throw the rag every time. Whoa, and it looks like they might have called this flag off. Maybe they thought it was an uncatchable.
5-2, 48-31, and ineligible for Pitt.
So it was not a defensive holding or a pass interference. It was a sideline warning against Houston. That pass was thrown along their sideline. So no penalty, incompletion, 4th and 7. And they punt it away to Justin Hall. And he won't get a chance to return that one. Lands about 8 yards out of bounds. Both teams have had the ball once here in this 3rd quarter. The score is the same as it was at halftime. Pittsburgh leads Houston. Come back to Canton. We go right to the Rocket Mortgage Replay Center and Mike Pereira.
Yeah, interesting play right there. When we saw the flag come, you're going to actually see that the defender does have a grab of the jersey. But in fact, it wasn't pass interference that was called. You thought it might have been here when you see this, but the pass is clearly uncatchable. It lands way outside the white. What she did call was interference on the sideline, players in the white, which is not a penalty. It's just a violation. So there was really nothing to create a first down or any kind of a penalty.
All right, Mike, thank you very much, because that was a confusing sequence there. The penalty marker came out, and there was some contact on the sideline, but Mike cleans that one up for us. And by the way, Mark Thompson caught that on the sideline, his first catch of the day.
Nice catch, Mark Thompson. Yeah, I think if Troy leaves that ball in bounds, you probably get a pass interference call there.
Thompson's 6th carry of the afternoon goes nowhere. Who else? Boogie Roberts in the backfield.
There he is. There's the disruptor.
Who has a better time than Boogie?
Nice play by Boogie Roberts here. Little swim move over the center. The right guard can't get to him in time. big-time TFL.
A couple of plays ago, he was in the backfield. That led to an incompletion as well. Bahar lets it go deep, and it's not close. A lot of contact with Mark Gilbert and Isaiah Zuber. No flag, and we have 3rd down 13.
Both these quarterbacks starting the second half being a little bit aggressive, right? That's the second go ball Kenji's taken. Troy, you know, signaled out to his ex-receiver earlier, hey, it's man, give me a go ball. They're pushing the ball down the field. Nothing's hit yet. But both quarterbacks being aggressive to start this half.
Both of these teams started the season 0-2. Houston's now 4-3. Pittsburgh 2-5. Both alive and well in the playoff hunt. 3 games left, including this one in the regular season. 3-man rush. Quick release. Almost intercepted. Bryce torn it in.
Oh, my goodness. That is an excellent break on the football by Bryce here. He senses he's getting a little pressure route. We call it a 10-yard sort of speed out by the slot receiver. He senses it from the very beginning, makes a great jump on the play, and just, so close.
You seem disappointed for a defensive back.
You know what we say, right?
Drop back.
All the DBs in the world are going to hate me, but they play DB for a reason, you know.
If they could catch, they'd be a receiver,
there
right?
You go.
Isaiah Henney. Fair catch called for on the 27-yard line.
Unfortunately, you know, a lot of the throws I've had in the past have been picked off by guys like him.
41-yard punts and no return. Doing push-ups after that drop. Lead remains 7. Pittsburgh fans in the stands here in Canton. Their team on top by 7. Caroline is on the Mauler sideline.
Yeah, I'm here with Bryce Tornadin. And Bryce, I'm going to need you to walk me through that last play.
Yeah, we ran a little coverage. It's a little different than our base alignment stuff. Great call. They threw it where we wanted it. Just missed opportunity for a big play. All the guys don't know what that means, but I got to make that. I'll have to get another one for the team.
So you came back over here and started doing push-ups on the sideline. How many did you have to do, and was that for the drop?
That is definitely for the drop. Only had 20 so far, but if anyone says give me 10, I got 10 more. I got to make it up for the guys. So.
Thank you, Bryce. Paul?
Hey, 20 in full pads. It's almost 90 degrees down there. That's doing some work on the sideline.
That's a lot of push-ups.
On game day it is.
For sure. I know he's so mad at himself, but it was a great recognition on that route concept. He played it perfectly. Instead of the INT, he gets the PBU.
Troy Williams, 16 out of 19 so far. Make it 17 out of 20. Bailey Gaither, 3 catches in this second half. Turns the corner. Bailey Gaither, well-earned run after the catch. JT Tyler, the linebacker, chased him down, but he picks up 31 yards.
Good play call here. They just got positive yards on a run. They come back and kind of action off the same thing. Troy's got a guy in his face. He finds his hot outlet, Bailey, and Bailey does the rest. What a great job, great moves. You know, when you watch tape, he's got so much speed. Almost every time he touches the ball, creative things happen. Big plays happen.
And they go to the ground game. Nice hole at the right side. Mondre London in a race for the end zone. Stiff arm gets him down to the 9-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
He picks up 26, and this mix of pass then run working very well for Pittsburgh.
Get your pads down. Boom. Mondre London just running through arm tackles. Big-time play. Gets him down inside the 10-yard line. That's a well-blocked play by the offensive line there. And they've got a good drive going here.
You know who was unblocked was Jeremiah Johnson right there and couldn't make that stop. First down and goal, Pittsburgh already with a 7-point lead. Back to London to the 5, and that's as far as he'll get. Picks up 4 yards.
I'll tell you what, you're watching this offensive line. They're just getting so much movement up front. The line of scrimmage is being won by these big guys for Pittsburgh, and these running backs are not having to make a cut till they get through the line of scrimmage.
Manny Bunch is the injured gambler on all fours at the 5-yard line. Talked to Chris Wilson, defensive coordinator for Houston this week. I said, who's the #1 player other offenses should be concerned with? And it's Manny Bunch. Update on him when we come back. Welcome back to Canton. Just before we went to break, Manny Bunch he was the injured Houston gambler on the field. He did walk off under his own power. Meanwhile, his defense remains on the field. 2nd down 5 coming up for Pittsburgh, already up 13-6. And offense humming along much better today than it has all season. Garrett Groshek is the tailback to the right of Troy Williams. To the air, to the end zone, wide open touchdown, Matt Seibert. There is a penalty marker down, actually 2, to see if that's an illegal pick, because he was all by himself.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to get an illegal pick here.
Pass interference with 13, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Looks like he's going to sell a little flat route. And McCleskey just runs right into the defender. Ball's already in the air. That's a clear penalty. Can't do that. That's unfortunate, because I think he might have still had it even if he doesn't run into him there.
Usually they go with the graze or like the accidental. It didn't mean to run into you. That was just a plain block. Backs him way up to the 15 now. On 2nd down, a misfire there. Haven't seen too many of those. Bailey Gaither, the intended receiver. Only the 4th incompletion for Williams.
Yep. Puts him in a 3rd down situation here. Here comes Manny Bunch back into the game. You know, this Houston defense has really been decimated by injuries, especially in the secondary. Manny Bunch would be the last guy you'd want to lose. He's the communicator. He's a big hitter. He's a tone setter. Former teammate of my current teammate, Zaven Collins. They played 2 years at Tulsa together, and talked to Zaven about Manny this week and just talked about how great of a guy he is and a good football player.
A misfire there on 4th down. That's 2 consecutive incompletions. Isaiah Pryor had the tight coverage on Seibert, so the field goal team comes out. So we did this last week as well. You called your first game. You had OTAs all week. You mentioned Zaven Collins. Did you have a number of guys talking to you about what you did or didn't do in the booth?
You know, I kind of kept it a secret last week. I didn't want people to know that I was, in case I just fell flat on my face up here in the booth. But when I got back, there were several of my teammates that had seen it and watched and heard about it, and pretty cool.
You certainly did not fall on your face. Chris Blewett, 32 yards out, right down the middle. And Pittsburgh gets that lead to double digits at 16-6. Get ready for more hard-hitting USFL action. The Philadelphia Stars square up against the Birmingham Stallions in a rematch of last year's USFL Championship, where the Stallions bested the Stars 33-30. Love to see another game like that. More USFL today, 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC, as well as on Peacock. That game took place right here. We're back here week 8, warm afternoon, temperature in the high 80s, and the Pittsburgh Maulers reason to smile today, at least right now. 3:08 left in the 3rd. And a 10-point lead. They've lost their last 2 games coming in. They're 2-5. Now, the 2-5 record doesn't mean as much, as Kenji Bahar gets ready to come back, as the fact that it is awfully tight in the North. And Pittsburgh knows if they win the next 3 weeks, they are in the postseason.
Yeah, just hope that drive right there doesn't come back to haunt Pittsburgh, right? They get a 2nd and goal from about the 5-yard line. You get a pass interference penalty, bumps them back. They play 3rd and long, and they got to settle for a field goal. You know, we've talked about their red zone issues. Thankful to get points there, thankful to go up 2 scores, but I just hope that that drive doesn't come back to haunt them.
Now, Blewett slips, short kick to the 19-yard line. This is Isaiah Zuber. Left side across the 40 and out near the 45-yard line. Good return. Nice setup for Kenji Bahar. So There was a slip there that cost him some yardage. Blewett goes down. That left foot kind of gave out. 26-yard return by Zuber after the shorter kick. And here comes Bahar. And Colt, we saw him play very well in that first half, but he has cooled off. He at one point was 8 for 9. He's now 8 for 15.
Yeah, I think they just need to settle him down, get the ball back in Mark Thompson's hands a little bit. You know, we talked to Eric Price earlier in the week, and he just said, let's use shifts and motions to dress up some of our run schemes to get Mark going. Here they're going to come out and start out and empty, start this drive.
3 pass catchers to his right. He goes that way. Justin Hall had a little alley right away and still going. Nice run. Ball came out late. At the 42, it was recovered by Houston.
I think he was down right there, but I love that call. Doesn't take any thought process by Kenji. You can kind of turn his brain off. I'm throwing a little alley screen to my best player, Justin Hall, and he goes out and gets you 12 to 15 yards. It's a really good start for Houston.
Reuben Foster, former first-round pick of San Francisco, is the injured Mauler on the field. Let's see if we can see him. He wears number 10. First of all, there's Houston diving on that fumble to maintain possession. And meanwhile, we have Reuben Foster still on the 40-yard line, just stood up. And that linebacking tandem between Foster and Kiava Tizino has really been the strongest part of this team. Foster walks off under his own power.
Looks like it might have something to do with that hand or wrist, wearing a brace on it. He delivers a huge hit and then gets back up. And I think I see him grab his hand.
Foster goes into the 10. 2:30 left in the third quarter. First down and 10. Now inside of Pittsburgh territory. There's Mark Thompson to the left side, head down. Getting a little blue collar finish there down to the 34-yard line.
That's called a gang tackle right there. It's going to take more than one guy to bring Mark Thompson down. Good job finding the football by Pittsburgh, but I think it just took 3 or 4 guys to get him down on the ground.
And when we talked to Reuben Foster during the week, he said you just can't let him get going. Can't let him get ahead of steam. Compared him to playing against Leonard Fournette back when they were both in the SEC. Aaron Schomplin out of Harvard, now the tailback in. His first carry right up the middle. He likes it. Down to the 22-yard line. Take a listen to Eric Price calling plays here.
11, you want it? What you want, 11?
Stay.
Get a little pass play here, Y stick.
Quick hitter, there's the first ball, batted down to the line of scrimmage. We saw that happen 6 times last week. First one today.
And I would not put this batted ball on Kenji Bahar here. If you're the right tackle, Natai Rogers, he's cutting the defensive end to try to get him to fall down, get him on the ground, and he just misses. And now you have a big defensive end staring right in your vision, and you're throwing quick game to a stick route. That's just unfortunate there.
Trio of wideouts to the right of Bahar and one to his left. Schomplin, second carry, dives across the 20-yard line.
My fault, my fault.
Third down and 5 coming up. Mark Thompson remains on the sideline. The tailback is Aaron Schomplin. 20 seconds now in the third quarter.
2-man.
Backing up, buying some extra time. Tries the right side. Up to the 15. And he'll be about 5 yards short of the first down.
I think we're going to get an illegal contact back here in the backfield. So Pittsburgh on 3rd and 5 here is going to go with what we call 22-man. 2 deep safeties in the back and everybody else underneath playing man coverage. Kenji recognizes it, moves around, tries to find a
Illegal
completion.
contact, number 30, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You get an illegal contact call by Pittsburgh. Results in a first down for Houston.
12.
Base.
You know, we talked about penalties really hurting Pittsburgh. And that's one of them, right? You get them in 3rd down, you get a stop, and then there's a flag on the ground. So,
third quarter started with the Maulers leading by 7. It ends with Pittsburgh on top by 10. 1 quarter left here in Canton as week 8 is just up.
And welcome back to Canton. Big 3rd down for Houston here. We want to highlight Tazzino here. We got man coverage. They're playing 2 deep safeties. It's 3rd and 5. And as they get going, he just gets a little bit of the jersey, pulls him down. Kenji has to scramble around and find a way to make a play. They stop him, but unfortunately, Kiava Tazzino gets the penalty there, and now Houston's got a first down inside the 15-yard line.
Working the telestrator, bringing us out of break. Colt McCoy. Well done. 1 quarter left here. The play action for Bahar. Nice pocket to the end zone. Kiki Chisholm, did he catch it? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Houston.
What a great play design here. We're going to fake a little bit of a bubble screen to the receiver in motion. Kenji's going to put his foot down, and we're checking to see if he got 2 feet in. 1, there's 1. 2, it's going to be close.
Taking a peek here. Bahar spotted Chisholm. Was it in time? There's the right.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown has been confirmed.
And he does get that left foot down, drags it. Big time throw by Kenji there. Love the call by Eric Price.
Great job getting that left toe down. The black pellets that came up proved his points. Extra point just snuck in there. 4th quarter off to a much better start than what we saw in the 3rd quarter for Kenji Bahar when he was just 1 out of 6. Touchdown strike to Kiki Chisholm, who's starting for the first time this season.
This is a great play design. You're going to get your best player coming in motion. He's going to run a little bubble screen. They're going to fake it to him as Kenji gets the ball. Eyes are going to go over here to the bubble screen, and then he just resets and finds his receiver in the back of the end zone, throws a strike, and now we got a 3-score game here in Canton.
Well, it's nice as a quarterback when you know that you're going with max protection there. They really only got those 2 deep crossing routes out. Leave some guys in the block. The quarterback knows he should have an extra count, and he needed that extra count for Chisholm to open up, and then he did a wonderful job of getting both toes down.
Well, I love the play design because you're faking the ball to your 2 best players. You're running Mark right up the middle. You're faking the bubble screen to Justin Hall, and then your safety's eyes get all confused, and all of a sudden they've got a high cross coming in front of their face, and Kenji throws a dime for a touchdown.
Well, I mentioned that Kenji was just 1 out of 6 in that 3rd quarter. The Gamblers, as an offense, had 14 total yards in the 3rd quarter. They had 14 on that pass. This is Josh Simmons.
Sure.
And he makes it out to the 37-yard line. JT Tyler, starting outside linebacker for Houston, in to make the stop. So Kenji Bahar and the Gamblers offense respond. Let's see what Troy Williams can do.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Maulers have been making a living off these yards after contact. Troy gets outside the pocket, finds his speedy receiver, Bailey Gaither. He makes 1, 2 guys miss, and he gets probably 30, 35 yards after contact. Here, Madre London right through the middle. Boom, gets his pads down, makes a defender miss with the arm tackle. He finds himself with 20 extra yards there on the run. Pittsburgh doing a nice job.
Hit as he
after
throws.
contact today.
Bailey Gaither has been a popular target here in the 2nd half. And you saw that number there on the bottom of your screen of over 270 yards of total offense. Pittsburgh came into this game, Colt, averaging 231, easily last for total yards in the USFL. And early in that second half, they passed their average.
It's so surprising to me, right? Because you have number 4, Bailey Gather, who's speed, great hands. We've seen him make one-handed catches this year. Isaiah Henney, who you get him the ball in space, he's just so dynamic.
Roshek, quick feet in the backfield, avoided the loss and then picked up yardage and also gets a first down. Isaiah Pryor makes the tackle, but the chains are moving for the Mauler offense.
Yeah, Groshek with some nice footwork here, right in the middle of the defense. Makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss. Gets forward, probably gets 4 or 5 more yards after that. So great job by Garrett.
Roshek remains in the game. He's the tailback, a couple of yards behind Williams. Seibert, the tight end, acting like a fullback, clears out a little space to spring him just inside of Houston territory to the 49-yard line, gain of 3.
Now, if I'm Houston on defense right now, I've got a second down and manageable. I'm at midfield. Pittsburgh's kind of just been marching the ball up and down the field. I might bring some pressure, at least here on third down, something to disrupt the rhythm of Troy
As a
and this
quarterback,
Pittsburgh offense.
Yeah, third and medium, you are taught to think pressure is likely coming on this down. See how many the Gamblers bring. They bring 6. Williams finds a hole and breaks a tackle. First down, Pittsburgh. Good call and a better run.
Yeah, Troy Williams is just so dangerous when he gets the ball in his hand right here. This is a simple quarterback zone read. They've ran this a couple times today. He's reading number 44 right here on the edge of your screen. If he takes the fly sweep, again, Troy just runs right up the middle. They've got it well blocked. He makes a guy miss and falls for another Pittsburgh first down.
He is the leading rusher for this team coming into the game. Today he trails London, but he's averaging 7 yards a pop on his 5 attempts. He just got him a fresh new set of downs. Spin move doesn't get him too far that time. He did avoid the sack, but picks up only 1. Chigozie Inoraku, defensive tackle, makes the play there.
Pretty good recognition by Troy. He doesn't love the route concept. He doesn't have his first read's not there. He's getting a little bit of pressure. He scrambles up just enough to not take a sack.
Both teams
when you do that, the O-line really, really appreciates you.
And that's a good feeling to have.
No doubt.
Want those guys on your side.
No doubt.
Side formation, 3 wideouts close to the line. One of them
coverage.
crossing, and that's Gaither, first down. He separated from the pack on the right side and went back to catch that one. And that was his 6th grab of the afternoon, good for 12 yards.
Yep. We're just going to get Bailey Gaither on Dayon Lake here. JT Tyler is playing what we call the hole defender. They're playing man coverage. He's in the middle of the defense. He's responsible for crossers. He tries to get his hands on him as best he can. He misses. And Bailey has leverage on the nickel. And another first down for Pittsburgh.
Converting on third down allows them to lean on that running game a little bit with that lead and the fact that they've already rushed for over 100 yards. 7th play of this drive coming up. Timeout called by
Pittsburgh. It's their first of the 30 seconds to play.
Memphis has been changing up their coverages all day. That time they choose to go man coverage, press across the board.
Okay, all right, we're gonna come back.
And we call it 11 hole, where it's man coverage everywhere, it's single high safety, and your hole player is JT Tyler. He's the Mike. He's responsible for crossers. He does a pretty good job of getting his hands on the crossing route, but not enough. Bailey's a pretty slippery receiver. He gets across him, and then his leverage already has the nickel beat, and it's another first down for Pittsburgh.
JT Tyler there, outside linebacker, wearing number 18. He's a former Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year at Princeton. Talked to him a couple weeks ago. He gave us a great explanation as for his why he chose to play in the USFL. Said he ran a 40 in the high 4.8s at Pro Day. He wants to use this season to show he plays much faster than he showed on that afternoon. Groshek ripped down to the ground before he got to the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Chambers leads the USFL in tackles for loss and adds one more. Loss of 2.
Yeah, Isaiah Chambers shows up all the time. When you watch this defense, he makes a great play here. He sheds his blocker, gets him by one hand, and just makes a great, he's going to take that inside move because the nickel's blitzing off the edge. Good play call versus that run there.
Extra man in the backfield is actually wide receiver Isaiah Henney. They go to the right side, and Houston's defense not fooled. Dayan Lake in the backfield and making the stop. Another tackle for loss. That's on back-to-back plays. That one, a loss of 7.
Yeah, that's 2 plays in a row where Houston has mixed up their defense. They blitzed Lake twice, and that time he's right in the perfect position to make a tackle for loss. And when you watch Lake, he's a really good rusher when they bring the nickel off the slot. He makes plays. He's good in man coverage, and now he's getting a chance to do his thing when they call blitzes and makes a big play there.
Field goal position threatened now with those losses, and in trouble again is Williams, and he's sacked at the 37-yard line. 3 plays in a row they're thrown for a loss. Again, it's Isaiah Chambers. And a field goal is likely out of the question. Loss of 5.
That's a tough one, right? You're in this position where you're in field goal range. You don't want to take a sack. I think if Troy had this play back, he'd for sure just get the ball out of his hands. No sacks in this area. Now it results in to be about a 54-yard field goal try.
Oh, they are going to go.
Blewett.
They are going to attempt it. He has made one from 50 yards. 53-yard attempt. Snap hold good, plenty of distance. And he drilled it. He says, I have no problem with 3 tackles for loss in a row. Pushes that lead back to 6. Pittsburgh special teams coming through. And the Maulers lead by 6. After the game, the Boss Baby is back and bossier than ever. Catch the movie where the babies call the plays and dominate nap time. Don't miss Boss Baby Family Business next on USA. Troy Williams, he wears number 11 right there. He's had a good day, a really good day, 19 out of 24. Just saw his offense take back-to-back-to-back tackles for loss. But Chris Blewett, the kicker, came on and took care of that with a 53-yard field goal. And their lead is now back to 6.
Yeah, Chris Blewett definitely saved Troy Williams right there. Troy knows I don't need to take a sack right here. Make this a longer kick for Chris Blewett. And Blewett says, I got you.
He had that 58-yarder called back last week for a delay of game. So he is on a nice little roll here. Puts the ball back on the tee. It has gotten windy here, swirling wind in Canton on a warm afternoon. Temperature in the high 80s. Pittsburgh coming in after a tough 6-point loss last week, and Houston knows the feeling. They blew a lead in the final 2 minutes against Memphis to lose a heartbreaker there. Zuber from the 6. A leaping finish out near the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Joshua Simmons, one of the wide receivers for Pittsburgh. Return of 20 yards.
I think this is a big drive for Pittsburgh's defense, right? You got Boogie Roberts, Reuben Foster. These guys need to step up and make a play after a scoring drive by their offense.
And look at this Pittsburgh defense. On the left there, 17.2 points per game, weeks 1 through 5. Number 1 in the USFL. Look at the last 2 weeks, nearly 30 points per game. And much more like it, what they're used to here. Halfway through the 4th quarter, they've given up only 13 points. Mark Thompson, 3rd leading rusher in the league, and they have bottled him up most of the day. 1 yard loss there.
Man, what a great read right here by Kiawe Tizino. He sees the double teams in front of him. He diagnoses this play. He sees the handoff to Mark Thompson. He's going to come right here, and he's just going to meet him in the hole.
Boy, and that's against the running back who's 6'2", 235.
That's just great recognition by your Mike linebacker, the leading tackler in the USFL.
Good to see Reuben Foster right next to him. Remember, he left the game earlier, went into the tent in this second half. Bahar steps up, slides out. Open receiver is Kiki Chisholm. Just had the touchdown reception and now has the Houston offense inside of Pittsburgh territory. Arnold Tarpley, the safety, eventually made the stop. Troy Williams makes the play to Chisholm, 23-yard gain.
Yeah, good job by Kenji here. He feels the pressure. He moves out of the pocket. And I tell you what, when Kenji gets out of the pocket, when Troy Williams gets out of the pocket, there has been some big plays on this field today. They are both dynamic. They're both making good decisions. And that results in an explosive play for the Houston offense.
Chisholm almost hit 1,000 yards 2020 and 21 at Missouri. And enjoying his first start in the USFL here this afternoon. Little quick toss to Thompson. Finds a lane and a stiff arm. But a good tackle there by Arnold Tarpley. Back-to-back plays, he makes the tackle. Thought he might go for a little bit of a ride there, Colt, but found a way to get marked down.
Yeah, Arnold Tarpley, this is not the position that you want to be in as a defender. He gets a stiff arm to the face mask, grabs onto some jersey, and makes an unbelievable tackle in the open field. You know, Tarpley had a huge interception last week. He's playing at a really high level. Great tackle.
Offensive coordinator Eric Price said he wanted Thompson touching the ball 20 times today. That was only his 9th carry. Here's his 10th little stutter step. And he's ridden down to the 37-yard line by Terry Beckner.
I like that Houston is getting back to the ground game. They're getting Mark Thompson on the edge. They're getting double teams up front, letting them find a crease. They feel so much more in rhythm when they do this. And honestly, it helps Kenji stay in rhythm. Gets his feet calm. He's playing ahead of the chains. Got a first down here inside the 40.
They got a little out of whack with that balance last week, as Eric Price told us, when Kenji threw it 39 times and Thompson only ran it 13 times. Boogie Roberts in the backfield way before he was supposed to be.
Offside, number 8, defense with contact. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Boogie was ready to roll.
Usually is. And backing up to Kenji Bahar, Colt, the fact that last week he had his worst outing when he had his most passing attempts. Some quarterbacks are good, throwing near 40 times a game. That's where they're comfortable. Others are better in the 20s. And Bahar right now, 11 out of 19 is much more his wheelhouse.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Aaron Shanklin is the tailback. They pump one way. They want to come back and set up the screen. And the Maulers defense had that one sniffed out right away.
Really nice recognition here by Pittsburgh.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Houston fakes the bubble screen to 17 right here. Then Kenji's going to reset his feet and trying to find the halfback there on a screen. I love the play design. But you have your weak side hook defender sitting there right there waiting on it. Nice call by Ray Horton and the defense to be ready for a screen on first down, which is really common once you cross the 40.
2nd down 5, still plenty of time, and only a 6-point deficit. Thompson, boy, he just has not had much room to go. This defense, #1 in the USFL and giving up total yards. Kiava Tazino is there to make that stop.
Kiave Tazino again right here. Watch him on this play. He recognizes run. He recognizes the weak side seal block by Clint Sig and just penetrates the gap and makes another tackle for loss. Man, his recognition is just lightning fast. There was no way one of those linemen was going to get off and make that block. What a great play.
Timeout, Houston. This is their first of the half. Timeout on the feet.
Inside of 5 minutes left, Pittsburgh leads by 6.
Coming up at 3 p.m. on NBC, it is the rematch of last year's USFL championship game. The Birmingham Stallions, they defeated the Philadelphia Stars and were crowned champions of season #1 in the USFL. But both these teams, they look primed for another playoff run. They each lead the divisions in the North and in the South. Just 3 weeks remain before the playoffs. The Stars and the Stallions from Birmingham, Alabama. Coming up next on NBC.
Hey, Jack, thank you. Jack Collinsworth and Michael Robinson will be on the call of that one. And in the South Division, there's a lot of good teams there. Not one of them has a losing record. Houston sitting at 4-3, and right now 4:51 left. They trail by 6. We have a big 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Gamblers. Kenji Bahar, 11 out of 20, 147. His top rusher is Mark Thompson. He has had a tough outing so far. And they go to him. He tries the left side. He likes it. Sprinting for the end zone is Mark Thompson, and getting there.
Oh, my word. Kenji does a great job here. He sees man coverage across the board, a light 6-man box. They look like they were a little flustered on defense getting lined up. They run a little zone concept. They get up to the mic, and there's no one left to make a play. The safety's low. The corners are playing man coverage, and Mark Thompson does the rest.
Had a 23-yard touchdown run earlier in this game.
And I think if I'm Ray Horton, I don't expect a run on 3rd and 6 like that.
It's a huge extra point, all tied up at 19. Houston has been in chase mode this game, and now they're the one out on top. Mark Thompson didn't play the first 2 games of the season, but he leads the USFL in touchdowns, and it's not even close. TD number 13 leads to the Gamblers being up by 1. Mark Thompson has 2 huge plays in this game. Touchdown 12 and 13 for his team, and they both came on critical downs. Let's go back to the first half. 4th down and 1. Who are you going to give it to? Thompson. And a sprint there to finish. And there's his first touchdown. Moments ago, 3rd down and 6. He emerges from the pile, and at that point, it's all over. 13th touchdown of the season. Extra point gives Houston a 1-point lead. He gets a rest. And Cole, we were talking in the break. Feels like Pittsburgh has been in control this entire game, but you look at the scoreboard, inside of 5 minutes, they're now trailing by 1.
I know. It seems like Pittsburgh's Achilles heel has been giving up big plays. You look at last week, they allowed 2 big touchdowns. And you look at this week, the situations, 4th and 1, 3rd and 6. I know they weren't expecting a run there, but still, that's 2 massive game-changing plays in critical situations that just can't happen. And now they find themselves down 1 after what we feel like, they've been controlling the game the whole time.
Talked to Pittsburgh general manager Lonnie Young during the week and asked him what drew him to Troy Williams, the quarterback. He said he used to be the national scout for the Baltimore Ravens. He was scouting Utah and noticed this quarterback in practice was always calm, didn't get his feathers ruffled, liked his demeanor. Well, here they are together again. Didn't bring him to Baltimore, but brought him to Pittsburgh. Isaiah Henney off the left side. And again, number 1 thing he liked remains calm in tough situations. Well, this is a tough spot. Clock ticking, 4:24 left in the game, and his side down by 1.
Plenty of time here. No reason to rush. You've got 2 timeouts, 4 minutes. Let's just call our best plays and get ourselves in position to kick a field goal or score a touchdown.
Highly efficient, 19 out of 24 so far. 4-man rush underneath. Catch made by Henney, and a first down. Little make you miss gets him inside of Houston territory. Jeremiah Johnson brought him down.
Man, what you guys witnessed is just so unusual. Isaiah Henney, the ability to catch the ball in space, give a little with his feet, stutter the defender, and get 10 more yards. These yards after the catch are so impressive. Bailey Gaither doing it, Isaiah Henney doing it, and now they're across midfield. They're getting close to field goal range, and they're right where they want to be.
18 yards there for the top receiver on this team, and also the number 1 punt returner in the USFL. Madre London, stutter step, congested there up front, gets about a half yard. Isaiah Chambers leads the USFL in tackles for loss, has a pair already today. Came up with that stop. Well, that was a huge play, 18 yards, and they are almost inside of field goal range. Both teams 2 timeouts left.
Clock running.
Empty backfield now for Williams. Henny joins him in the backfield. They fake the jet sweep. Good job at keeping his feet. And barely gets back to the 40-yard line. Late flag comes in, 2 of them. Jeremiah Johnson might have led with the helmet there.
He sure did. You're going to see it right here when we get this replay up. Troy's going to the ground. He's tackled. He's down. And Jeremiah Johnson just leads with his head. He's running. He's stumbling. He's getting down. And then, boom, the shoulder to the head or neck area. I mean, if they leave this call on, that is just a huge deflating penalty for Houston.
And I mentioned field goal position a moment ago. And this will walk them well inside of that.
Personal foul. Late hit, number 2, defense. 15-yard added to the run. Automatic first down.
I don't think that Jeremiah Johnson was really trying to do this. He's almost protecting himself as he's going to the ground, and Troy falls right in front of him. And that's just an unfortunate deal there. And now, flip it over to the other side. If you're Pittsburgh, you got to be saying to yourself, okay, we got a field goal, boys. Don't turn the ball over. No sacks. Keep this clock running. And if we could score, great. If not, let's not mess this up.
Garrett Groshek skips to the right side, hit low, and goes down to the 24-yard line. And you have this running game now, Colt. It hasn't been dominant, but it certainly has been effective. 130 yards rushing now today. Timeout called by Houston. So you can lean on that to grind out some more time as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think the difference for Pittsburgh today has been Troy Williams' ability to run the football. They've ran these fly sweeps to receivers, to running backs, letting Troy read the defensive end. If he crashes, he keeps it. He's made a bunch of yards with his feet, and that's really helped this Pittsburgh offense stay ahead of the chains.
So you have Groshek, 7 carries for 36. His partner there at running back, Mondre London, has 41 yards rushing. You always have to keep in mind, too, when you're playing Pittsburgh, that Troy Williams is, in fact, their leading rusher. He's carried it 7 times for 36 yards, so keep an eye to see if he'll fake one and bootleg around to one side or the other.
I think that's a good call. I think, you know, you may run it on this down here, and then on 3rd down, you might move the pocket a little bit, something where he can have a run-pass option. Be a safe call down in this area. Houston down to 2 timeouts here.
Mondre London, hard running and brought down, struck right as he crossed the line of scrimmage by Tolson, the middle linebacker, the top tackler for that team.
Good recognition by Tolson here. He steps up in his gap, waiting for the cutback. Finds himself in perfect position to make that play. And now we're at big 3rd down coming up here as we go into the 2-minute warning.
Pittsburgh right now trails 20-19, but getting close to having a chance to go ahead. We're at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a time.
Welcome back to Canton. Game 1 of 4 here to kick off Week 8 of the USFL. Is a tight one between the Gamblers and the Maulers. Houston has been chasing most of this game, trailing Pittsburgh. But they just came back to score a touchdown. Extra point put them up 1.
Now, I think if you're Troy Williams here, you got to understand, if we call a pass play here, a sack is better than an incomplete to keep this clock rolling.
3rd down and 8 now for the Maulers. Here comes a blitz, in trouble. Did get it away to avoid the loss.
Oh, no.
And Manny Bunch there in on the blitz.
So what you're going to get here is a will free safety blitz off the edge. I know Troy recognizes it. He's waiting for his shallow cross to come open. He just doesn't get there in time. And I think if you're, here's the safety blitz that's coming off the edge. And I think if you're Troy right here, just eat it. Just take a sack to keep this clock running. Make Houston burn their last time out.
So Chris Blewett comes out. He's 4 for 4. He's good from 22, 54, 33, and 53. This from 41 to take the lead. And he pushed it. He missed it to the right.
They got 2 timeouts.
Guys, I'm not sure here, but it looked like the long snapper maybe double clutched it again. can't really tell right there. Good hold. And man, just barely missed that field goal. So now if you're Pittsburgh's defense, you got to be thinking, we've got to create a turnover. Strip the ball, get a pick, something.
Was perfect till that point. 4 out of 4, a couple from beyond 50. And just misses to the right that time. 1:50 left. Pittsburgh with 2 timeouts left. And get ready for some Mark Thompson here. 2 touchdown rushes. 12 carries for 87 yards. And Houston in run formation here. Bahar under center. Here's Thompson, cuts it back. Still moving. And out to the 38-yard line. You hear timeout. They use their first one.
Timeout, Pittsburgh. Their second of the half. 30 seconds in length.
Hey, that was a big first down there. They pick up 7.
Hey, Bob, am I right? 1 first down. They use timeout.
Yeah, if you're Houston, you feel real comfortable right now because you have the best player in the USFL in your backfield. I don't care if you put 11 guys in the box. We're handing the ball off to Mark Thompson here.
That's what I'm asking.
They're figuring out the timing there on the sideline, but one more first down here, and the fact that Pittsburgh only has 1 timeout left.
Where'd you go?
They get this 3 yards, they can just take a knee. Houston had a 4-game winning streak snapped last week. They led at the 2-minute warning. Gave up a big touchdown pass late to Memphis to lose. Thompson again. Quick feed in the backfield out to the 44-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Deck is now stacked well against Pittsburgh.
This is their final timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length. Yep.
So they use their final timeout. So Chris Blewett had been so good as the kicker for Pittsburgh most of this day. He was good to start out the day, 22 yards out, a little warm-up right down the middle. Got a lot tougher from there. This is from 54 yards out. That is also good. 33 yards, no trouble there, right down the middle. And then back up beyond 50 again in the second half from 53 yards out. So he had that 4-for-4 stat line, that confidence, and just moments ago pushed that one to the right. You saw the clock, it was just inside of 2 minutes. And it kept the score at 20-19 with Houston on top. Aaron Shamplin is the tailback now, but Kenji Bahar will just take a knee, and Pittsburgh cannot stop the clock. And Bahar more with the kind of day that is good for him here, Colton. That's the fact that he threw the ball 20 times, 11 out of 20, and Mark Thompson was up near 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, I thought Kenji did an unbelievable job today, getting the ball out of his hands. They moved him around a little bit. I think he was much healthier than what he was last week. He was efficient. He got his completion percentage up, and like we talked about, when they don't turn the ball over, they win. Kenji did that today.
There you go, Colt. Good point, because Kenji Bahar had those 2 interceptions and the 4 sacks last week. Those negative plays, plus the fact that he had 6 balls batted down. We haven't seen that here today. That's why his team is on top 20-19. And this Houston team that started the year 0-2 won 4 in a row. And in a matter of moments, they're going to push that record to 5-3 and be right there challenging for the top of the South.
And I think if you're Pittsburgh, you're just frustrated, right? You played so good. You gave up about 3 big plays that ultimately changed the entire game. What a big road win for Houston.
Hugs on the sideline for Curtis Johnson. They get back on the winning side of things. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, and they're 5-3, putting the pressure on. As you heard from Jack Collinsworth, that game is coming up top of the hour on NBC if you'd like to see some more football. Kenji Bahar efficient, 11 out of 20, buck 47, 1 touchdown. And as Colt pointed out, no interceptions. And when that happens for Houston, it's usually a formula that works for a W.
That's right. Mark Thompson again finding the end zone twice. When he gets running north and south, and this offensive line creates those gaps and holes for him, this team is just hard to beat. And in critical situations, number 7 showed up and made big plays.
Kiki Chisholm, first start, he had the big touchdown catch in the second half. Houston in chase mode most of the game, but they caught him when it mattered most. The winning coach is Curtis Johnson, and he's on the sideline with Carolina.
Good job.
Coach, he's busy telling people good job. Coach, 6 of your last 7 now have been 1-score games. How did you find a way to win this one?
You know what? It's our run game, Mark. Man, Mark Thompson, he's phenomenal. Man, I was just disappointed last week. His mother came into the game. We couldn't get the win. He ran it outstanding. I thought Kenji came back. He's a little bit more healthy. And our little guy, Shorty, man, Justin's played outstanding. Those guys playing good.
Yeah, you mentioned multiple. We'll get to them, but I want to start with Mark Thompson. Those 2 touchdowns on critical downs. What did that do for your team today?
Oh, it gave us a boost. Our defense struggled. They played a good game offensively. Their coaches called a great game, man. It was phenomenal. But, man, our defense stuck it out when we had to, and we just needed a big play. And Mark, he's capable of doing that every time.
Kenji rebounded from last week today with a phenomenal game. What did you see from him?
You know, I saw the leadership. I saw the poise. Still a little bit injured, but he played great. He played great this week. Couldn't ask for more.
2 games left now in the regular season. What is your focus going into those?
Well, it's just one game at a time. I think we play Birmingham next. They're a good team. I mean, they're the best team in our division right now with the best record. So, you know, we got a challenge for him. That quarterback, McCool, man, he's outstanding.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win. Paul?
Caroline Curtis, thank you very much. There's Kenji Bahar, but for the player of the game brought to you by Simply Spikes, we're going to go to the man he was handing the ball off to quite a bit there in that second half.
It's got to go to Mark Thompson here. Just finding creases, finding holes. It takes 4 or 5 guys to bring him down every time he's running the football. Little toss crack, sweep out here on the edge, staying ahead of the chains on first downs. And then the big 4th and 1 play. Mark Thompson right up the gut. He finds a hole. And then here late in the game, a breakdown by Pittsburgh. They decide to play man coverage with a light box. Mark Thompson finds a crease and takes it to the house, and that's the difference in this game.
He didn't play the first 2 games of the season. There's still 2 regular season games left, and he has 13 rushing touchdowns, an amazing number. Easily the best in the league. Houston comes from behind to win by 1.